Welcome back to the channel, and as you can see, we will be discussing the pros and cons of our stay at the Sycuan Casino. So first we're going to start with the rooms. All of this started with our MyVegas app redemption of a 2-day comp for a room at the Sycuan Casino. As you can see here, it was completely comped. There was nothing that we had to pay. We only had to put the deposit down for the room. That was it, and that would be refunded back once we checked out. So it was completely comped, and I know sometimes a comp means you have to pay, taxes and fees and all the other stuff, but we didn't have to do any of that. The next thing about the rooms at the Sycuan Casino is the actual room. The room was a nice size room. We were surprised to have a refrigerator in the room because usually with a comp you don't get the option of having a refrigerator. So that was a nice touch. We did not have any type of view, which is okay because we didn't plan on spending a whole lot of time in the room anyway, and it's not like we're in Vegas. We're in the middle of the desert. The room was very clean. The room and the bedding was comfortable. There was not any dust or dirt anywhere that we saw. And I did like the little touches of having the dimmers as well as the HDMI hookup, because instead of, if you wanted to stay in your room and watch a movie, you could bring your own computer or, whatever you want to hook to the TV to play through the TV. So that was pretty nice. Also, I like the fact that the remote for the TV came in a sealed package. That's a big thing, especially with what's going on now, and I'm always kind of concerned. So every hotel room I go to, I will wipe down the remote, because I don't know if they wiped it down, and I'm doing that before COVID. So I really like that. The shower was spacious. It was very easy to get the right temperature, because sometimes you're in a new place. Trying to get the right temperature for your shower can be difficult. That was very nice, and the water pressure was pretty good. So, and all in all, the room was definitely a plus. Moving on to the food and the staff. First, let me say that the staff at Sycuan Casino are amazing. Everyone was very friendly. They answered any questions we had promptly. Everyone from the janitorial staff to the hotel reservations. The young lady assisted us. We had a little issue there, and she was able to help us get that figured out. The gentleman at the loyalty desk was great. When we checked in, he got my husband all checked in, because the process when you redeem at Sycuan Casino is that you do have to have one of their rewards or loyalty cards in order to take advantage of the MyVegas app comp, which is fine. It's pretty easy process. We completed it online before we got to the casino, and then once we were there, we went to the loyalty desk. My husband was able to go ahead and finish the process. His card was given to him at that time, and at the time he asked me, did I have a card? I didn't have a card. He gave me one and gave me a little nice little $10 for signing up to play with. So that was wonderful, and it was a very easy process. It was just such an easy process. I was very much appreciative of that, as well as the food. Now, I have done a video already on what the food was like at the Sycuan Casino. It was tasty. It was pretty much on par with what you would pay if you were in Las Vegas at some of the restaurants that are located in their resorts. So it wasn't far off as far as the amount, and the portions were good. The service was great. Shout out to Rank and File, because the service was great. Obviously, we went back a second time. The next pro we have is the age restriction. Now, this did come in early in the video as a con. If you have kids, you have to get a babysitter, because there are no people under 21 allowed. However, for some people, this would be a pro, because this means you don't have to worry about kids running around the casino or the resort, the pool, all of that. You're nothing but adults, everyone 21 and over. It is a place where you can have a romantic weekend and not really worry about how you may be looking at the pool. I'll just put it like that. You may wear a little bit more risque swimsuit and feel okay with that because you know they're not young children that are going to see you. So I found that to be both a pro and a con because I do have children, but they couldn't go on that trip. So whenever we go to Sycuan, they will have to stay at home. A little bit of an issue, but not a big one because I do like the atmosphere and it is very conducive to a romantic getaway. It can be done. There are other restaurants that are not as casual as Rank and Fowler or Pink Buddha, such as Will and Bourbon, and it will be a great place to spend your anniversary or just a romantic weekend. In the cons video, I talked about the fact that there were other pros that we would get to that were not necessarily related to Sycuan. One of those pros was, as I mentioned, Foothill Liquor. Now, the 13-minute ride between Sycuan and Foothill Liquor is pretty much a 2-lane highway. It's not much there, but right at the end or right at the beginning, depending if you're on your way to Sycuan, right at the beginning of that ride, there is a liquor store called Foothill Liquor. Now, if you want to, you could stop at Foothill Liquor and they have all kinds of liquor you could possibly think of in all ways. I mean, everything from Jello shots to just mini shots to some liquors that are harder to find. They're at reasonable prices. And if that's something that you would be interested in doing and picking up, then you could do that. That's a decision you would have to make, but that is definitely a pro because we were able to pick up something to drink from there instead of having to always pay the prices for drinks at Sycuan. The next pro is the fact that Sycuan has its own gas station. Yes, you are correct. I just said Sycuan has its own gas station with a mini mart attached. And the prices for the gas were reasonable. It's $5.78 per gallon at the time we were there. So it makes it very convenient for you to be able to gas up on your way out. All right, so that is a complete wrap up of our trip to Sycuan Casino. Please stay tuned for our next video where we will be discussing how to get free cruise trips from the My Vegas app. As you can see, they're there, they're popular, they're on Royal Caribbean, anywhere from a 3-night to a 5-night interior stateroom for 2 for free. So check it out and may all your travels be sweet.